All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, SeaRaptors of all ages, welcome to the International Finals, Day 3, the playoff bracket. This is the lower bracket, ELSR, NA team number 1 versus TSUKI, Asia team number 2. Single elimination for these two and a best of 3. Raptor, can you talk to us about the TSUKI lineup, sir?
Sure thing, boss man. TSUKI spawning here in the green on the north side of north here. Bringing a Kremlin for 1 battleship. That's TSUKI's Starry Party. And a St. Vincent. That's, oh, this is going to mess me up, just like last week's draft. That's Schlachtschiff H-45 headed over here towards the 9-10 line. We'll have a look at what's going on towards this this other flank, this eastern flank. Haruka's Salem and Shikishima's Des Moines headed over this way. We've got Munon's Daring and CVN-18's Delny hard diving the Sea Cap. Have a look, people going to the A flank. You've got Emilia's Harugamo, Sora's Yu Yang. This is indeed a radar Yu Yang. We've seen both variants over the course of the event, but this particular variant is a radar Yang, and Leader 1's Brisbane. Talk to me about the ELSR lineup, Zath. What do we got going on at the bottom of the map?
All right, facing them is ELSR to the south. We already have some contact. Brisbane, no, I think that was
That's a Vermont salvo on the opposing Kremlin. Yep. Starry looks like he might actually take. That wasn't nearly as bad as it could have been.
Yeah, interesting. Look at all that hit point pool on that Kremlin, 108,000. Any case, looking over ELSR lineup, heading towards Alpha, we've got our Harugamo, we've got our Brisbane. We've got our Des Moines. Now, this Des Moines is not unique upgrade. That's Steven's Des Moines.
No, he's range upgrade. Yeah.
Meanwhile, 8952's Vermont, as usual. We're just taking a look at the builds here. Nothing special to report right now. Don't forget, Ragnar and Kleber were banned. Hutao's Mosfa is helping at the B cap while Luger tries to back in. We've got our first radar over at A. Sora detected. Let's take a look at that. We'll continue the lineup in a moment. As all the shells are starting to come into Sora's Yu Yang, he panics, dumps all the torpedoes, and just runs away.
Yeah, using that torpedo reload booster early. I kind of like that play, Zath. Ooh, Sora taking a big hit there. But I like
that was the Vermont salvo.
The Yang torpedo reload booster has really changed how that ship has impacted competitive play, right? Like Radar Yang was always a little bit of a thing before, but now it's a much bigger deal because that torpedo reload booster gives that ship a lot bigger impact.
Do you recall, Raptor, that game we cast SCCC versus Treta, Game 3?
Man,
it's
been
the
a while.
torpedoes coming through. That was the Wooster that sat in smoke. Masuka Rin taking a deep water torp there.
Well, and he's in a bit of trouble too. Yeah,
that forced out the DCP. If he takes another torpedo and it floods, that will indeed stick.
I think he's
got it. And now he's detected on radar from Aggro Leaders Brisbane.
Yeah, but nobody there to take advantage of it. Starry Party's Kremlin is the only one who might, and the island, this giant island here along the 3 line is going to prevent that shot.
So while all this has been happening, Luger's Daring has backed into the B cap. He's in actually a very exposed position. He's expecting to see the Des Moines at the top of that island. But if you look, that Des Moines has actually been moved back to C cap to ensure they grab and hold C cap, as we've got Quincy's Harugamo. We've got Apex's Caesar. That's the Des Moines. And Goti Tori's Kremlin all making their way up the 9-10 line. That Kremlin running unique upgrade.
Quincy's timed this passage very well. The torpedoes from the Delny are going to cross in front of him harmlessly.
That's right. Now, we missed a moment ago as Emilia Siko's Harugumo took a torpedo all the way up at the A line. Still alive. Just activates his adrenaline rush.
Yeah, it doesn't. I look at what TSUKI's brought to the party at A, Zath, versus what ELSR has at the party at A. I really have to favor ELSR right now in this matchup.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, that kind of makes sense, right? If you look at the way the map is set up, TSUKI was able to get a quick cap of C, and now they're positioned to hold it. But look at this Des Moines. Is he going through the channel? No, he stopped.
Buster's
stopped.
adroitly dodging some torpedoes there. Munon's daring caught out on radar briefly. Actually, Shikishima's Des Moines is coming into the channel, Zath.
Yeah, I see that now.
I'm wondering, I guess he just wants to set up on this side of the cap. Now that they know the Kremlin is basically over there on the 9 line, nobody really is going to have flanking shots on Shikishima in this position. 5 minutes in, about an 80-point lead here for Tsuki on the strength of that early C-cap, the Delny charge, getting them an early points lead. But I don't know, Zath. I mean, I want to see how this ELSR push on the 9-10 lines shapes up before I start to kind of get a feel for this game.
Well, and that 9-10 party has begun as Quincy's Harugumo is detected on Salem's radar. He doesn't care. He's just going to sit there. It's 0v0 versus 0v0.
Yeah, we're going to see a clash of play styles over here, Zath, with the St. Vincent and the Kremlin, right? They're trying to burn out Haruka's Salem, but I mean, Salem, the reason you bring a Salem to this flank is specifically to kind of deny that play as the Kremlin salvo goes in on the St. Vincent now to little effect.
Yeah, the Salem, this is a war of attrition. We typically see on this, this is more, you know, kind of like that 300 style Spartan setup. Everybody just pushes together in that line.
Buster's turning right in front of torpedoes in the bottom of the A-cap. He takes one. Not catastrophic damage.
And he's on radar, though, at the same time.
He's on radar now. They just caught him. They know he took a torpedo in there. But the Brisbane radar is also up.
14 hit points left on his torpedo launcher, Raptor. 14.
Oof.
Wow.
One
more sneeze there, and they blow up.
Misakura's Brisbane is the one that's really caught out here, as the Harugumo tries to get some solid damage in. All the radar, all the shells going everywhere at the A-cap. Misakura popping that fancy heel and peeling out, as Stevens Des Moines back there still pleasantly ensconced in the smoke.
Yeah, Sora's got shells coming in on him now. And Little Buster's 4 no longer has torpedoes in that Harugumo. He's out.
Okay, so that module has been destroyed. Munon's daring moving up to try to start to flip the B-cap. Hutao's Moskva saying, absolutely none of that, sir. But they've pulled Luger's daring off the B-cap. Once this radar expires at B, I don't know how they're going to defend it.
It's, yeah, look at the Vermont. That he knows where that Des Moines is, and he's making his way over there. Munon takes another decent hit.
Well, and he's got a Vermont salvo falling in now.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. He felt all of that.
Big hits on Munon.
He felt all of that as he drops to under 5,000 HP here in the early going. ELSR picking up the A-cap finally. That'll allow them to start to close this gap here. But Tsuki putting up a couple of radars. Ooh, they're hammering.
Look at the other side.
They're hammering Quincy on the 10 line.
Quincy is playing the border game for a minute there, just trying to get out of Dodge.
Yep. That British battleship HE making the double fire there coming in on the back of the Salem shells. He's going to get out of the radar, but it's not going to be enough to save his ship, I don't think, Zath. No, it's not.
No, that'll be it. That'll be it. You know, he's been playing very aggressively and I would say disrespecting the radar. And you see what happens.
Yeah. Yep. First blood going to Tsuki here, way over on the extreme edge of the map as we're getting close to the halfway point. That pushes them out to about a 150-point lead, as now Munon's daring is going to should be able to flip B. It's going to allow them to flip things around, but ELSR reacting here, pulling ships back over, and now the Vermont and the Kremlin in a bit of a duel in the C-cap.
Yeah, this is an interesting position for Starry Party's Kremlin because while it does give him some shots perhaps at that Des Moines position, he's kind of broadside to Bocce's Kremlin if he gets around. Nice hit there.
Solid pens.
So, yeah, he's kind of put himself in a position to just get shot at.
Yeah. ELSR down a cap and a ship now, but look how many Tsuki ships are under half HP, Zath. ELSR
they are hurting.
Yeah, they just need to get vision on the right thing at the right time, and they're going to be right back in this game.
Yeah, I think Hutao is fixing to use his radar. The problem is that by the time he does, who's he going to see? Nobody. Well, he'll see Munan for moments.
He might be able to pick up Munan. He might be able to pick up Sora. He would absolutely have to move up to get shots on Sora, but Sora would be a better pick target at under 4,000 health that he can't regenerate.
Sora's outside.
Is he outside the range? Oh, he is. I see it now.
Yeah. These guys are doing a fantastic job of respecting that radar range and saying, okay, because Hu Tao spotted, or we at least the last known location, right? Let's stay 12 kilometers plus away. Very smart.
The ELSR may be about to lose their Kremlin over here on the 9 line as well. Bochy under a tremendous amount of threat. He's still got DCPs available, but his next heal is quite a bit ways off.
Well, the loss of Quincy means that TSUKI can push on this flank, right?
Yep,
there's
absolutely.
no torpedoes to hold them in position. You can see Apex now trying to come around, but the Salem is right there to prevent him from trying to get anything happening in Schlagstift's St. Vincent.
Yeah, Apex not able to... Well, he's trying. It looks like he's maybe grinding on the island. Yeah, he's trying anyway, I think. As now, TSUKI not sitting idle. ELSR pulling ships back off the A cap. TSUKI trying to get in there and pick that cap up now. 9 minutes to play. We're over a 240-point lead now for TSUKI. ELSR looking to make something happen here, and it could still happen. I mean, they could still find a way. Bochy's got torpedoes coming in. Oh, I think he's going out. Has he found a gap? Nope. One in the bow.
One in the bow. I was looking over at A. Brisbane radar popped and caught the smoke snail over there. There he goes.
ELSR losing the Kremlin now on the 9 line. Hu Tao and Luger moving up to work the B cap. Hu Tao in a very aggressive position here, trying to threaten this Des Moines flank. Luger caught under Des Moines radar.
Yeah, down 2 ships. You got to make something happen. Here's the St. Vincent salvo into Shikishima's face, and nothing.
That Vermont
just
salvo
backs up behind the island.
Yeah, that Vermont salvo into Shiki's face, not looking good. And so now Apex all alone here on the 10 line. This is essentially free points for ELSR, excuse me, for TSUKI, when they can move up and claim it. 90 seconds from a TSUKI win here in game 1. ELSR not out of this yet, but man, are they under a tremendous amount of pressure trying to find a way to a win. It feels like TSUKI is like right on the edge of a knife, right? Like if you take out the right ship at the right moment, suddenly this little house of dominoes might collapse. But ELSR hasn't found a way to do that yet.
Well, TSUKI's done a fantastic job of rotating those assets farther back and farther away from trouble.
Yes.
I think one of the most pivotal parts is that Harugumo at A losing those torpedoes permanently. That just removes so much pressure.
Well, Apex is about to
pressure. Take a look.
About to get assassinated. Yeah, Apex about to get assassinated here on the 10 line. Delany's going to go in his face, and knowing that's over, the Brisbane gets, doesn't even matter, though. On the other side of the map, the Brisbane gets lucky with a torpedo, and that is game 1, ladies and gentlemen. Wow.
Fantastic start to the day, as obviously both teams wanting to come off with this win. I'll tell you, Raptor, TSUKI seemed to just kind of overall play better. They did a nice job of rotating their hit points. They did a nice job of playing around radars. And let's be real, there's a little bit of luck involved too, right? Hitting that Harugumo torpedoes was impactful over at A. You know, those torpedo salvos hitting Brisbane at A as well, kind of, you know, tilted the odds in the favor of TSUKI over at A. But what a fight.
Yeah, but that's exactly it. One of the reasons that you bring those ships, those lineups to those big, wide open flanks is to force those kinds of things to happen, right? If you dump enough torpedoes into an area, into a smoke cloud, sooner or later somebody won't have their hydro. That just the timing will work in your favor. The odds will eventually play out for you, and it worked for TSUKI here over at the A flank. But man, that 10-line fight was brutal as well. And I think you're right. I think Quincy got maybe a little too cheeky, and they made him pay for it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, why don't we pass it back to the analyst desk and let them chew on this for a little bit?
Absolutely. Let's do it.